How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video, and today I thought I'd break down something you may or may not have heard about recently, but, well, you sooner or later will, because there's going to be a whole bunch. And when I say a whole bunch, I mean literally a huge amount of DC information coming in not so long from now, because essentially, as we all know, usually we go to things like Comic-Con or tune into Comic-Con to see all of these movie announcements, trailers. You know, if you're looking forward to The Flash Season 7, there may be a panel there with a new trailer, but this year, DC are doing something different with the announcement of DC Fandom. So in this video, I want to talk about what I'm expecting to see from DC Fandom. It's actually spelled DC Fandome, but you know, you kind of get what they're trying to do there. But essentially, they give us a bit of information as to what we can expect, but I want to dive even deeper as to what we will get from like the Batman movies, such as the DCEU movies that we're still yet to see, such as Wonder Woman 1984, but all the way down to Titans. Yes, all you Titans fans out there, we're going to get information about that. So make sure you stay tuned to this video to make sure you learn everything that you want to know about this upcoming event and what I think we could get out of this, because yeah, we could get some insanely cool teases in just a couple of months' time. So the first thing that I'm going to do is read out the press email that they released to everyone to just announce this, but then I'll get into kind of each main chunk of show and movie that you guys will want to hear about and what I think we could get out of those specific shows or movies when it comes to the event. So the email is as follows: save the date and prep your cosplay. On Saturday, August 22nd, starting at 10 AM PDT, Warner Brothers will welcome fans everywhere into the DC Fandome, a free virtual fan experience where no badge is required. Imagine all the superheroes and supervillains you've ever loved finally coming together in one place to celebrate DC's past, present, and future. Accessible for 24 hours at dcfandome.com. The global event will immerse fans into the DC multiverse with new announcements from Warner Brothers games, film, and TV, and comics, as well as unprecedented opportunity to hear from the casts and creators behind your favorite feature films and TV series, including Aquaman, The Batman, Batwoman, Black Adam, Black Lightning, DC Superhero Girls, DC Legends of Tomorrow, DC Stargirl, Doom Patrol, The Flash, Harley Quinn, the Snyder Cut of Justice League, Lucifer, Pennyworth, Shazam, The Suicide Squad, Supergirl, Superman and Lois, Teen Titans Go, Titans, Watchmen, Young Justice Outsiders, and coming this fall to theaters worldwide, Wonder Woman 1984. The DC Fandome is the place to hear highly anticipated announcements and the latest news, see exclusive footage, and venture into themed worlds designed to entertain everyone from movie and TV superfans to gamers and readers to families and kids, with special presentations to engage fans in every time zone across the globe. You'll have the opportunity to have an experience that's all your own. Inside this virtual world, fans will get access to localized events featuring the faces and voices from countries around the world in their local language. No matter where you live, your age, or your level of fandom, there is something for you. So if you were wondering what is going on with all the new information we usually get from the movies and TV shows every year, well, this is how DC is deciding to do it. I just read off a huge list of brand new stuff we will get, and I know on this channel there's a lot of movie fans of the Batman, obviously DC in general, but also the TV show. So I'm going to get into what I expect to hear from, you know, Titans and stuff like that, considering they won't even start filming potentially until next year if things really go for the worst. But yeah, this is going to be an absolutely huge event. The Comic-Con of everything you would expect from previous years, all wrapped up into one crazy 24-hour event. And I don't know what I'm going to do, because I'm going to feel obligated to stay up for 24 hours just to make sure I absorb everything, not only for the videos I want to make, but I want to know everything. So what am I going to have to do? Like schedule alarms to make sure I wake up for the right time for the Batman stream, and maybe several hours later for what we're going to hear from a Titans panel maybe. It's going to be a bit crazy, but I think it's a really cool idea. This does sound very exciting, and I think we're going to get so much information, so so much overdose of information with the shows and movies we want to hear about. It's going to be quite a blast. Now, immediately from all of those things that I read out from, you know, information on TV series and movies such as Aquaman, The Batman, you know, Suicide Squad, I'm expecting, considering there's movies like Suicide Squad, those types of movies have progressed a long way. So, like, I think we're going to get footage of Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I think that's fairly obvious. I'm very excited about that. So I think that will be one of the main ones. There is stuff to show. But let me dive straight into the Batman, because I bet a lot of you are like, Boba, I really want to know what you think about what we're going to see from the Batman. Well, the Batman's an interesting one. I don't think we're going to see a trailer or anything necessarily. I think we'd be so lucky to get some kind of sizzle reel, because they could always put something together like a sizzle reel. The Batman has already filmed quite a bit of its stuff already. UK filming has allowed them to continue as of right now, and I can't remember when they said their projected finish date will be, but going into August, it kind of goes without saying. Of course, there is plenty of stuff that Matt Reeves could show, but I think it will be going more along the lines of new pictures, maybe an official logo, an official title. I know we've already got the title of Batman and Batman Vengeance on some of the, you know, behind the scenes stuff, like the seats that the actors sit on and things like that, but I'm thinking we're going to get some official branding, some more teases from Matt Reeves, like he's already put out with Robert Pattinson's Batman, like that, obviously the costume test for the Batsuit, but also the pictures of the Batmobile. But maybe if he's not going to give us the catsuit for Zoe Kravitz before this event, maybe we're going to get that at the event. That would be absolutely incredible. And I think we'd be so lucky if we got a scene, some kind of scene, maybe between, you know, Zoe Kravitz already in the suit and Robert Pattinson already in the suit. That would be amazing. I don't think we should get our hopes up too high, but the Batman, you know, it's really up to them what they're going to show, but they will have more than enough material to tease us. And us being fans who are getting insanely excited over just the smallest teasers from Matt Reeves. So I think we're going to be happy with whatever we get, considering where the movie will be at with this event happening on August 22nd. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to get from the Batman. Obviously, other movies such as Aquaman and, you know, where the future comes with that will be, you know, there's going to be lots of stuff that they can probably tease about the direction they're going with these other movies that haven't exactly gone full dive into their sequels. The same, I imagine, will go for Shazam and other things like that. Snyder Cut, though, I'm expecting an actual trailer, considering as of when making this video is when just last night Zack Snyder released some even more crazy stuff for the Snyder Cut, such as Gal Gadot's Diana Prince looking at this ancient kind of marking of Darkseid, and we even got that original clip of Darkseid where before it was Steppenwolf. I'm sure you guys have already seen it as of when I'm making this video, or perhaps I'm even showing it in this video right now. But yeah, if you're getting this now, you can be sure to know that by August 22nd, Snyder's going to have something mind-blowing up his sleeve to share with us. But not only that, maybe we're going to get a whole bunch more information on if it's actually going to be dropped as a 4-hour movie, or are they going to drop it like 1 hour a week and we have to watch it in parts. I mean, personally, I really would sit there for 4 hours and binge the whole thing. I know that's a long time, but I would want to absorb it all. But I would be okay also with watching it in an episodic way. But I think if it came down to it, I would really kind of want to watch it in one go as one connected experience. But also as a business model, if they did put it into 4 parts, then maybe that could bring in more HBO Max subscriptions. Somehow maybe they could bleed it into, like, so it gets into enough for 2-month subscriptions. I know some of you might think that's jammy, but if you're running a business, then maybe this is something they have to think about there, which I would get. I really would. But God, there's so much on that list that I read out. You know, we've got things from Pennyworth, you know, Superman and Lois. I'll get into the WB TV shows in a second. Obviously, Pennyworth, we're probably going to see a bunch of stuff for season 2 there. Lucifer, well, that's just been so up in the air. I expect to get a whole bunch of clarity with what's going on with season 6, because if you guys didn't know already, I do cover Lucifer on the channel, and all the cast are ready for a season 6, and up until recently, Tom Ellis has negotiated a new contract and deal, as well as the showrunners already signed on for season 6. So they're all honestly putting their hands together saying, right, let's put our hands in the middle, everybody ready for a season 6. Now it's just up to Netflix to announce this season 6. And I know we haven't even got season 5 yet. I expect to obviously see season 5's trailer well before August, but obviously they're going to probably go into the future and explain, well, if season 5 was meant to be the original ending, then how the hell are we going to do season 6? Well, everybody in the crowd or watching at home, obviously there's not going to be any crowd there, what am I on about? Here's how we're going to do that. So I think that's how that is going to go. Now, before we get into the CW side of things, let's jump into DC Universe, so Titans. Now, they haven't even started filming for season 2 yet. They were meant to when all of this pandemic stuff was going down, but it really doesn't look like we're going to be seeing Titans resume filming for quite some time. I've been trying to poke into the behind the scenes of that, and it really is just taking one foot in front of the other and seeing what's going on, because right now in Canada, or in, where they shoot this in Toronto, no shows are allowed to resume production, at least as of when I'm making this video, and it's really seeing what's coming on a first come first serve basis as of when they're gonna lift those measures to make those productions slowly ease back into, well, production. So Titans honestly might not happen to the fall of this year. It could be even later. That would be very unlucky, and we might not be seeing Titans well until the end of next year. Some people are even speculating later, but either way, there's still a bunch of stuff that they can share. So I'm expecting a whole bunch of information to do with the storyline. So we already know, I exclusively revealed to you guys that episode 1 would be titled Barbara Gordon. They're probably going to explain to fans how she fits into the story. They won't want to give too much away, but there's so much stuff that fans want to know about the new season of Titans, because we're all Titans fans, but we all know that it hasn't been perfect in every single way that we'd want it to. So I think we're going to want to hear about the superhero adventures that the Titans will be actually getting up to in this 3rd season, because they're meant to be the Titans, this crime-fighting superhero force, and we finally got that, with that final shot at the end of season 2. So hopefully they can give us a whole bunch of information as to how, if you love Titans and you like how it's been so far, get ready for season 3, because the dynamic of the show is going to change up now, and you're going to see them fighting out in Gotham City or something, and they're going to meet Barbara, that she will pertain to Dick's past. Expect more flashbacks that way. Oh, if you like Connor Leslie, don't worry, she's not really dead, she's coming back for a Troya arc. I expect that kind of stuff. But as for actual footage, well, no, because there isn't any to be shared. And you may be thinking, but what about Stargirl and Doom Patrol, since they're already out right now, so why have they included that into the DC Fandome list with, the whole stuff that they're gonna give exclusive behind-the-scenes info and all this good stuff about? Well, I'm thinking renewals here. I really want to see Doom Patrol get a renewal. For me, it's a very clear-cut race here in how Doom Patrol is at the top of the DC Universe shows. Stargirl is fantastic as well, but I'm also, along that note, we're expecting a kind of renewal for Stargirl Season 2. So with that, maybe they could talk about where things could go in the future. But yeah, I'm just expecting renewals on that front for Doom Patrol and Stargirl. But considering we have read into the past in how Jeff Johns and Brett Bassinger, who plays Courtney Whitmore, have talked about how there were talks for a crossover with The Flash this season, but it looks like it's going to be Stargirl Season 2. So going into that territory, we could learn that, considering the events of Crisis and how they did tease Stargirl being on Earth 2, that crossover with The Flash, maybe in the year of 2021, may very well happen. But I think that will just stick to the Stargirl side of things. Now, as for The Flash, well, this is interesting because filming is believed to resume, at least with how it's going right now, going into the whole August area of things. So by the time August 22nd rolls around and this event is here, plus with the information we already have that they did film most of episode 20, I think that they will have something to show. If you guys remember, Comic-Con trailers as it is usually show the first couple of episodes of footage. They don't really, it's actually a lot of borrowed footage from that very first episode. So maybe they could do somewhat of a similar sizzle reel. It really does depend on what extra stuff they might be able to get round to before this event actually takes place. But I'm willing to bet that that's kind of pushing too close for comfort to the event to just hopefully to have some new footage for Season 7 filmed. But don't forget that Episode 20 was supposed to be self-cannibalized into Season 7, as in Season 7, Episode 1. But regardless of how much or whether they show anything for The Flash, I think there's a whole bunch of stuff they can, announce for us, like who is the next main villain after Ava McCulloch. We know there is going to be one, and we've already got a synopsis with how this person wants to tear Team Flash apart, but not only Team Flash, but, you know, Barry and Iris's marriage, well, what if they just come out and say, we're doing Cobalt Blue, baby, and guess who? Guess who's cast for that role? Along walks out the actor who played Eddie. Like, could you imagine? Like, this is the kind of stuff I'm expecting. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm expecting that. Don't get your hopes up, but, like, we could hear about a main villain announcement where Eric Wallace wants to take the show, what worked last year, what didn't work. I expect him to talk about the graphic novel approach and how that was successful, and then expand upon that for what he has up his sleeve for season 7. Will they address Hartley Sawyer? I think it would be awkward for them not to. I don't expect them to go on about it for 5 minutes, but they might just say, due to the circumstances of what happened surrounding Hartley Sawyer, who plays Elongated Man, we have to drop him, and we have dropped him. Now, this is turning into a bit of a longer video than what I expected, but considering the list, there's so much to talk about. So Batwoman, I'm expecting a freaking casting. I mean, come on, considering, you know, the CW show's filming around that time, you would have thought they would reveal this new Ryan Wilder, and I think they will get into details. I think they're going to really try and use this as some smart damage control, since they should be aware by now how much of a backlash there is that they're not recasting Kate Kane, and they are still stubbornly persisting with Ryan Wilder. I'm not surprised there, because, you know, if you're announcing something, it's kind of embarrassing to go back on it. But I think they're going to use this opportunity to really sell you this new season of Batwoman, which I'm calling season 1.2, because it really is a low-key reboot, new character. This new character's going to have to learn everything Kate did. You know, she's not automatically just going to be better within a click of a finger. So you get what I'm trying to say. As much as they won't want you to think it's a Batwoman season 1 Mark II, it is. And I think they're going to use this opportunity to really hype you up about it, which I'm not saying they won't be able to do, by the way, but this is what I'm expecting nonetheless. And honestly, I think I've pretty much covered most of it. You know, as for Black Lightning and stuff like that, you know, of course, we're going to just hear new things about that, similar to, you know, what I've said about the other shows. Supergirl's included in that, Superman and Lois. Maybe they'll branch out the crossovers for next year that they originally planned. Are they still moving forward with the Batwoman and Superman and Lois crossover? I would be surprised if they're not. Just because Ryan Wilder's coming doesn't mean that they can't go along with their originally intended Batwoman and Superman and Lois crossover, which, you know, they were meant to do Supergirl, but hey, this is what we've got now. Wonder Woman 1984, well, they're just gonna really just re-energize our hype levels, because at this point, that's all they can do, as this movie has been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. It's been finished for a long time, but, like, I think all they want to do is keep the flame going, because, yeah, we're hyped for it, but every now and again, it fades a little bit with the release date being pushed back. So I think they're just gonna, you know, tide us over with some awesome Gal Gadot Wonder Woman footage, and I can't wait for that. And that is everything, guys. You know, there is, like, shows like DC Superhero Girls, but what would you expect? They're just going to give you some new information about that. But yeah, this is an interesting event. I will try my best to cover it. It's going to be an absolute nightmare for a YouTuber such as myself to make sure everyone is happy, but I'm going to try my best. Maybe I'll just do a long video like this breaking down everything. Maybe I'll go into specific offshoot videos that are just based on the new information we got from, like, the Batman, for example. But what do you guys think of this? What are you hoping to see from this event? That is my one main question I would love for you to respond to down in the comments below. So, for example, with the information with the Batman coming to this event, what do you hope that Matt Reeves shows? Do you think it's more looks, maybe even footage, maybe even a tease of a scene between Andy Serkis's Alfred and Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne? There's so much potential for this event. I'm very excited. I think it's a very smart idea considering the new circumstances in the world with, you know, not being able to attend these events physically. A lot of companies these days are doing their own events to entertain and announce their own fans instead of being a part of a collective event, and I'm actually not opposed to that. It's kind of cool. But yeah, that is everything I've got to say, guys, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate a like on it. It takes 2 seconds. Why not do it? Subscribe. A lot of you are unsubscribed to the channel. Maybe today is that day when you do click that subscribe button. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.